Hello, Elwin.
Is that true, Sarah?
It is Elwin. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for joining me. It's nice to be here today. And everybody hear the medium well. So what brings us together this evening, my friends? I've seen that you have had a demonstration of the mediumship, which is nice, isn't it? There's many ways to communicate with the spirit realms, you say. Which of you fear the spirit world? Or fear the unknown, should I say? Well, I can feel the vibration, you see, so there's no hiding. You may as well speak up, because the cat will be out of the bag. And we never like to embarrass anybody. Let's have an honest conversation, to understand, because sometimes by speaking up, we find that we find different points of view. Do you understand? And it's
Yes.
through exploring different points of view that we can begin to rationalize our own fears. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yes. So which one of you has a little bit of a fear of the spiritual realms, of the unknown, or the responsibility that comes with it, and worries that they mightn't do it right, or be scared to upset somebody? Do you understand?
Yes.
Yes.
How many of you, please?
Yes, a little bit.
There's a little.
Yeah.
Yes, I would.
Yeah.
There's 3 or 4 of you at least, you say.
Mm.
And I suppose
Yes.
this evening we start our lessons, you know, and fear can be one of 2 things. It can be something that prevents you from living a happy, content life, or it can seem a little bit of a curse to you. Do you understand? It limits you in your ability. We
Yes.
recognize that mediumship is a great responsibility, but we also recognize people with pure hearts. Do you see?
Yes, thank you.
It's people with good intentions that make fine mediums. You understand? But
Yes.
it's not intention alone that makes a good medium. It's a certain level of sharpness, you understand, and tenderness and compassion, and also respect for people. You know, and all of you have developed that within yourselves. Do you understand? Who has a habit of blurting things out? Or used to, should I say? Anne,
I don't think so, Alan.
you used to speak your mind.
I can speak my mind sometimes. Yes, I can.
It's not insensitive, you understand? It's
Yeah.
honest, you say. And people value honesty, you say. As do mediums, sorry, I beg your pardon, as do the spiritual world, you say. We value honesty. Do you say
Yeah.
there's no point you're sitting there as the medium making up a whole pile of lies, is there? And pretending you've got somebody when you haven't. So the medium must be trustworthy, shouldn't they?
Yes.
This was something that Sarah said earlier on this evening, that she'd rather develop where she knows there's the right energy under the person that she knows is a good medium. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yes.
You say, because then you know for fact that there's evidence there and there's integrity there, you see. Perhaps I'm going on a little bit, but what I'm trying to do is unravel the mind, the fearful mind, so that any doubts you might have about your ability to be able to conduct a loving message from the spirit world is eradicated this evening. Do you understand? Yes, it can take time, and yes, it's very hard to think that that's a possibility, but every human being can be a medium. Every human being. But they must first and foremost develop their own spirit. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes,
And
thank
we
you.
do that through life skills. You know, some of you are blessed to have good educations and good parents and good upbringings, you know, and you've learned values and standards and morals. And these are all good elements that help create a good medium. And Gordon himself was disciplined very early on in life, you see. From a very small age, he went to his church, It wasn't always a spiritualist church he went to. He went to different types of churches, so he was broad-minded. Do you understand? His mother fetched him around to the Catholic Church, the Protestant Church. She even snuck him into the back of a Muslim church at one point in time, you know, so that he had different Hindu, and he had different life experiences and could see things in a different way. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And it's this ability to be able to embrace all that creates a sense of oneness with the spiritual realms. You understand? And
Yes.
so you have to reflect on what you've done today in your life. This is what I would say to you. And ask yourself, have you developed compassion? Tick, yes, you have. Have you developed a sense of understanding? Yes, you have. Do you see? Do you
Yes.
see?
Yep.
Yes, we do.
Have you learned to listen well? Because the medium's mind must learn to listen well, not just to the people in front of them, but also to the spirit world. Tick the box on that one, because yes, you have. You see? So perhaps you're being a little bit sore on yourselves, those of you that think that there's a reason to fear the way that you work with mediumship. I know that there are several of you here that are more than ready to take the step towards serving in giving messages, etc., in different ways to act as mediators for us. Do you understand?
Yes, thank you.
I hope that I'm making sense.
Perfect sense.
Yes. And so this is the first step in becoming a medium, is saying, you know what, even if I don't understand how it all works, I'm willing to learn. Do you see? And I'm willing to work at my pace. I don't need to rush. And we will always listen to that. We listen to your fears as well as your excitement, because it's an exciting thing when you get the first message come through from a loved one, and you can actually, it doesn't feel like you're just telling a story. You actually feel like you've become them. You understand? And that they're right there in the room with you. So this will be the lesson that we start with, is how to recognize, truly feel a loved one as they come forward. Do you understand? So that you always know that you're fully connected to the person you're communicating with through a heart-to-heart link and a mind-to-mind link. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very simple thing, but without that, you could be talking to the wind. Do you see? Or a seagull could turn up on your shoulder and you could be talking to that and think it's good. It's nice to hear you all laugh, you know, not to take it too seriously. You see? And so our task really is to help you understand that, you know, your role in the message is extremely important. Without you, it's an impossibility. Our role is to prove that the spirit world exists and the eternal lasting of the soul. You understand? That there is life after what you call the physical death. That's our role, you see, along with giving comfort to people. And your role is to stand still long enough to hear us, you see, and feel us and become us, and acknowledge that we were born with the right to express all of divinity. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
And so you'll be as close to spirit as you want to be. That's all I have to say on the matter. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
One thing is, self-doubt will not push us away because we'll always be here, but it will create a barrier. And there's no room for barriers where there is love, is there? No,
No.
no, you're saying. And so it's with our delight that we welcome you to Circle. We didn't expect this evening. We'll be trying to tell the medium she needs to bring the transies out, you see. And she was saying, well, it's a mental medium demonstration, she said. And I always said, no, it's not. We dangled the carrot to get her where we needed her to be, you see, because we're quite conniving that way. You know, that's just me and Florence. When we get together, we're quite naughty, you know. But we like the laughter, you see, and the laughter raises the vibration, and it makes it easier for us to accept the fact that we are enough, you know, and you are enough, you see. You're one of the most patient, diligent people that has come across our threshold in quite some time. No matter how
Thank you,
unworthy
Yvonne.
or difficult you think it might be for you, actually, it's going to be a walk in the park. You're saying, I would tell you to go and feed the pigeons, and go and feed the pigeons. Do you see?
Yeah, I
Okay.
do. I understand.
Take a nice deep breath and feed the pigeons and come back to us with a clear head, you see.
I understand, Ellen. Yes, I do.
Yes, that's good. It's a private joke, isn't it?
It is.
But you know what? Just know that we love each and every one of you, you know, even if you haven't spent a lot of time with the medium in the past, and perhaps you're new to this work with her, you see, and us, should we say. You know, what we say to you, it doesn't matter. We always meet you where you're at. And we like to think that we are loving. We are, you see. And you know, the thing is with mediumship, you know, people punish themselves when they don't get the message right. I think, oh, I'm no good at this, I'm going to give up. When sometimes you've just got to persevere. Do you understand?
Yes.
You've got to
Yeah.
persevere. It's like anything in life, you know, if you're going to keep closing the door and eventually the door won't open, you know. But the thing there is, you say, many of you would have had spiritual experiences. I'd like to speak to Carmel because I know that she tends to abscond from her duties to spirit at times and
Hello.
gets herself busy with other things so she doesn't have to talk to us.
Yeah, you know me too well.
What's this thing is, I don't know how, tell me how to do it.
Yeah.
You're saying. And so I'm
Mm.
glad that you're back, Carmel, and
Thank you.
we've missed you, dear. We've missed
I
you.
know. I
You
missed
know,
you too.
Daddy says hello.
Thank you.
He
I will
does, he
to him
says
as well.
hello. He's got a big Jim Bob. I don't know what that means. But you know that, big Jim Bob. He's got a cigar in his pocket, Carmel. And he's putting a wee flutter on the horses, he says.
Hmm.
He's living a little. He wouldn't have done those things when he was living, you understand?
No.
No. But he says he's living a little because he was such a good son. A good son he was, you say. So he lived his life in goodness. But he says he went a bit wild when he came over here for a little bit just to try other things, you know, because they don't contaminate them. You understand?
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
he says it makes him feel big when the other boys are out and they're slapping down the poker cards. You know, but that's the thing is, you know, they adapt their environments in the spirit realms, and we'd like to speak to you more about that.
Hmm.
You know, it's not that he's changed his personality, that's not what we mean. So
Yeah.
don't think anything different than that. Daddy will always be daddy, you see.
Hmm.
But at the same time, he was always such a good husband, you understand?
Yeah.
He never went out with the lads much, you understand?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So he's doing that now, you see. He's met up with his brother,
Lovely.
you see, and he wanted to do that. So he says he misses you, and he thinks the world of you, you know, but he says you've got to get out from behind that bed and do what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I know.
He says, well, I say, and he says, we say that you're for the platform. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And so you've got to put the work into it, you see,
Mhm.
because life will pass you by and you'll hit 50 and think, what the heck did I do with my life? I should have listened.
Hmm.
You understand?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know deep down that's what you want, Carmen, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
It is, you say. And so that's the bones of it, as they say. Excuse the pun, you know. But has anybody got any questions?
No.
Oh my goodness.
No?
And somebody's not speaking up because I can feel it. That'd be Sarah.
No, you just sprang a surprise on us with this surprise visit.
Nice, isn't it?
It's lovely.
See, you see. And the thing is, at the end of the day, we'll not stay too long this time round, but we just wanted you to remember that out of honesty comes love, always.
Yeah.
See, so sit down, and I would suggest those of you that are not sure, it's perfectly fine with us. You sit down and ask yourself, is it right and true for me now to settle into understanding who I am and my possibilities? you understand?
Yes.
Yes.
Some of you might sit and say, well, I never want to do readings or whatever it is that that lady does sometimes with the clients. You understand? That's not what this is about. This is about learning how to communicate with the afterlife. Do you understand?
Yes.
So we would be devoting this space to mediumship. So you must make sure that the medium is quite clear on that at the end of the sitting. You understand? It's not about the psychic development. We'll be using specific things to help you link with memories, and we'll be helping you link with being able to identify people's objects, identify how they passed, for example, things like that. You understand? So it'll be very specific information that we'll be teaching you how to learn and gather data, as Gordon would say. Gordon himself was able to completely walk into a person's house and explore it. He'd go right up the driveway, he'd even read the registration on the car, you see, and he'd know it. And he'd be able to give that back as evidence. He'd be able to see the front door number, etc., and the color of the door and all of these things, you understand?
Mhm.
You know,
Yes.
it's like he was living their life. And that's what made him a remarkable medium. A lot of people questioned his mediumship, thought he was gathering evidence by going out to the houses himself, but it was an impossibility. You see, he went there because the spirit world trusted him enough to allow him access to that information. Do you understand?
Mhm.
Yes.
Thank you.
So we must move beyond basic generic information and move to pure evidence, because it is the pure evidence that proves the eternal existence of the soul. Do you see? So it's no good just saying I have a man here and he's all this and he's all that. We need more than that now, you see. In modern times, mediumship needs to advance into the old ways while retaining new aspects of mediumship. You understand?
Yes.
Yes.
You should be able to read the readings on their blood pressure monitors, these types of things. You understand? Detail. It's all about the detail. And you say, with trance mediumship, you must be a well-developed mental medium. Do you understand?
Yes.
That makes sense. And you must be comfortable with surrendering and letting go. How many of you are uncomfortable with letting go? I don't need you to answer that one. I'll bid you adieu, and I will see you all in the coming weeks, and looking forward to settling into some serious work for the months ahead. Thank
Thank you
all.
very much, Elwin.
Thanks, Elwin.
Thank you all. Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Nice, Elwin.
Night.